Tonight on the program, unemployment rates in Thailand are increasing and more graduates are struggling to find their first jobs. From quiet quitting, why are more people quiet cracking at work? And what's next for Thailand in a bid to host World Pride? สวัสดีค่ะ I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. Losing a job can be a nightmare for many people. Whether you lost your job because you got fired or laid off, nobody wants to be in the situation, especially when you still have to make ends meet and to take care of your family. Now, major companies around the world are making more layoffs than ever before due to the increase of digital disruption and global economic challenges. Thailand is also facing the same problem. More and more Thais are unemployed. According to recent data from Nasdaq, over 280,000 people were unemployed during the last quarter of 2025. Meanwhile, the National Statistical Office revealed that 370,000 Thais were unemployed in January and February 2026, and that number has increased to 405,000. These statistics align with the Kasikorn Research Center, which found that 40,000 Thais are at risk of getting fired or laid off each month. This number is very likely to increase due to the current economic crisis, including the increasing use of AI in many industries. The rising concern among workers today is that some companies have started to change the way they hire. In the past, we might believe that being permanent staff equals job security. Nowadays, permanent staff are at risk of getting laid off, as some companies feel that permanent staff are costly, usually associated with work benefits and compensation. This has led to a growing trend of companies laying off full-time workers and shifting towards contract-based workers in order to reduce benefit-related burdens and maintain greater work flexibility. Thai PBS's The Active recently talked to two former employees who have been laid off. One former employee said that she was informed by her employer that the company is letting her go with immediate effect. The reason provided was that the company is going through restructuring. After being unemployed for 3 months, she said that no one has asked her to attend a job interview.
พอเราเป็นคนที่โดนเลย์ออฟออกมาเนี่ยเราก็กังวลอยู่แล้วเพราะว่าเราก็รู้สถานการณ์มาตลอดว่าทุกวันนี้การหางานมันยากสำหรับคนทุกกลุ่มเด็กจบใหม่ก็ไม่มีประสบการณ์ก็บริษัทก็ไม่อยากจะรับส่วนคนที่มีประสบการณ์หน่อยก็จะมีเงินเดือนที่สูงบริษัทเองก็อยากจะลดค่าใช้จ่ายอีกปัจจัยก็คือเรื่องของ AI ที่มันจะเข้ามาทดแทนหรือแทนที่หลายๆตำแหน่งโดยเฉพาะตำแหน่งเด็กจบใหม่เนี่ยซึ่งมันอาจจะเป็นตำแหน่งที่แบบอาจจะยังไม่ได้ต้องการความเชี่ยวชาญหรือความซับซ้อนมากเงี้ยก็จะยากขึ้น
Another man said his contract was terminated in December last year. He's still struggling to find a new job. He said that job opportunities are scarce, especially now he's reaching his 40s and he still has to take care of his family.
มันกระทบอยู่แล้วครับมันกระทบมากเลยครับเห็นอย่างนี้แล้วก็เรามีภาระครอบครัวมีลูกมีครอบครัวที่ต้องดูแลทีเนี้ยจากเราที่เคยมีรายได้เราไม่มีรายได้เข้ามาเลยครับทีเนี้ยมันกระทบหนักว่าการที่เราจะไปสมัครงานเดี๋ยวนี้งานมันไม่มีงานที่รองรับเยอะครับงานมันก็หายากแล้วก็ด้วยอายุเราก็เกือบจะแตะ40แล้วครับการที่จะไปทำงานเขาก็ไม่ค่อยรับเท่าไหร่ครับเขาจะถามโน่นนี่นั่นเยอะครับ
In a way, being laid off has changed their perspective about job security and being employed full-time. One aspect they realized is that anyone can still be laid off or fired from their jobs despite having great performance reviews. Not only that, finding a job that aligns with their career plans would become much more difficult.
ก็การตกงานทำให้มุมมองเรื่องการทำงานของเราเปลี่ยนไปมากอย่างที่บอกว่าก่อนหน้านี้เราก็อยากจะ ทำงานในสายอาชีพที่เราเลือกต่อไปเรื่อยๆอะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็หวังว่าจะเติบโตในสายอาชีพนี้แต่สุดท้ายพอมันเกิดการเปลี่ยนแปลงที่เราแบบไม่ได้คาดคิดแล้วก็ ไม่ได้เตรียมตัวเนี่ยมันก็ทำให้เราต้องมาคิดว่าหรือว่าต่อไปเราก็อาจจะหางานที่มันไม่ต้องตอบโจทย์คุณค่ากับจิตใจเราขนาดนั้นเราก็อาจจะแค่หางานที่มันแบบเราทำได้ดีแล้วก็มีรายได้ที่ดีก็พอ
While it's sad to hear stories about people struggling with their lives when they're laid off, another sad truth is that companies in Thailand and around the world going through restructuring and laying off staff will still continue. In Thailand, the unemployment rate has continued to increase over the past few years. According to findings by Kasikorn Research Center, about 531,000 people lost their jobs last year, which is a 20% increase on the year before, when 440,000 people became unemployed. Or if we put it this way, in 2025, an average of 44,000 people lost their jobs each month, which is much higher than a few years ago when the numbers were only about 35 to 37,000 people. Now, if we look at the top 5 sectors with the most layoffs according to the same study, we see that those in the manufacturing sector recorded the highest numbers, as this sector is pressured by higher production costs as well as tech disruption, where AI and new technologies are being used to replace workers. Other sectors seeing high numbers of layoffs during the past year include retail, construction, sectors that require specialized knowledge and expertise such as legal services or accounting, as well as warehousing. As we mentioned, new graduates are also struggling to find their first jobs. While young graduates are job hunting, companies are becoming much more cautious than before. So what challenges are Gen Z workers now facing in the age of AI and economic uncertainty? Let's find out more with Gitipat Chusukjit.
A university degree used to open doors, but for many Gen Z job seekers today, getting hired is become harder than ever. According to the Thailand Development Research Institute, or TDRI, only 22.3% of online job postings in the fourth quarter of 2024 accepted applicants without prior work experience. Thailand's National Statistical Office reported that university graduates had the highest unemployment rate in March 2025, with around 144,000 unemployed graduates. Thai PBS World spoke with Gen Z job seekers about their struggles to find a job.
เพื่อนๆได้งานในสายงานที่ค่อนข้างจะมีอนาคตมี career path ที่ดีแล้วก็มีเงินเดือนที่ค่อนข้างสูงแต่ในขณะเดียวกันก็คือเราแบบจบมาจากที่เดียวกันอะไรเงี้ยแต่ว่าไม่ได้งานที่ดีเท่าหรือว่าไม่ได้มีหน้ามีตาในสังคมเท่าไหร่มันก็จะแบบเราก็จะมองหางานที่ตอบโจทย์ตรงนี้ได้ว่าเรามีตำแหน่งที่สูงขึ้นในอนาคตรอเราอยู่หรือว่ามีการแบบว่าจ่ายเงินเดือนที่สูงพอที่จะแบบมี work life balance ที่ดีได้
หนูเป็นคนแบบว่าติดแบบหนูไม่ชอบทำอะไรที่มันแบบว่าเป็นแบบแพทเทิร์นเดิมๆทุกวันนะคะด้วยความที่แบบพอเราทำไปสักพักแล้วเราเข้าใจเนื้องานเข้าใจลักษณะของงานว่ามันแล้วแบบเรารู้แล้วว่าเหมือนแบบมันไม่ได้มีอะไรให้เราชาเลนจ์แล้วอะค่ะพอถึงจุดนึงแล้วหนูเป็นคนที่แบบว่าไม่ชอบการติดลูปที่อยู่กับอะไรซ้ำๆเดิมๆเราทำแบบเดิมทุกวันอะไรแบบนี้ค่ะมันไม่ชาเลนจ์มันไม่มีความท้าทายคือหนูอยากแบบมีประสบการณ์นะคะเราอยากได้ประสบการณ์ใหม่ๆอยากได้ความท้าทายใหม่ๆอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
Sahathorn Petvirochai, manager of HRX Asia, described the situation as a crisis on top of a crisis. Over the past decade, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way people work, pushing companies towards remote work and automation. Then came AI, which rapidly began replacing routine and repetitive jobs, including administrative work. At the same time, global conflicts, energy problems, and economic uncertainty have forced many companies to slow down hiring. Many companies are trying to reduce costs and hire fewer employees. But every year, hundreds of thousands of graduates continue entering the labor market. The growing gap between supply and demand is making competition even tougher for Gen Z. Sahathorn says employers are now looking more at practical skills.
คนทำงานเองอ่ะเขาจะฉาย สกิลเหล่านั้นอย่างไรเขาเตรียมพร้อมตัวเองในการสร้างตัวเองให้มีสกิลเหล่านั้นไหมเช่นผมเห็นคน Gen Z ที่หางานง่าย Gen Z ที่ฉายแววได้เขาคือคนที่เขาเรียนรู้อะไรใหม่ๆเยอะมากไปลงคอร์สโอเคว่าจะมีต้นทุนเนาะไปลงคอร์สไปเรียนหรือไปทำงานจิตอาสาหรือทำงานกิจกรรมต่างๆแล้วเขามีพอร์ตโฟลิโอในการพรูฟว่าเนี่ยคือสิ่งเนี้ยที่เขาสามารถทำได้จริงตรงนี้จะทำให้ Gen Z สามารถมีโอกาสถูกหมายตาจาก HR หรือ Recruiter ได้มากกว่า
Still, young workers may also have an advantage. Unlike older generations, many Gen Z workers grew up with digital technology and AI tools. This also makes other older generations feel that they are struggling in finding a job too.
น่าจะกลัวแบบว่าโดนเด็กยุคใหม่แย่งงานเพราะว่าด้วยความที่ว่าไฟน้องอาจจะแรงกว่าแล้วก็องค์กรสมัยนี้หนูเริ่มดูมานะคะจากในแอปพวก JobDB หรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยเนี่ยเริ่มจำกัดอายุมากขึ้นเริ่มแบบว่ารับเด็กจบใหม่มากขึ้นรับคนที่ไม่มีประสบการณ์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยเยอะขึ้น
Sahathorn says many young workers today are becoming increasingly disconnected from traditional office culture, with frustration over stress, routine work, and lack of fulfillment growing more visible online.
เทรนด์ยุคนี้ของคนทำงานรุ่นใหม่มันจะเห็นการบ่นการพูดถึงโลกการทำงานไม่มีความสุขเลยมันแบบเข้างานแล้วไม่แฮปปี้เลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราทำงานไปวันๆอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับผมว่ากระแสเทรนด์เหล่านี้มันทำให้โลกการทำงานมันถูกมองในเชิงลบเกินไปมันเลยทำให้ความอินกับการทำงานหรือwilling ที่จะสร้างผลงานอะไรในองค์กรมันน้อยลงเพราะฉะนั้น Gen Z คนไม่เฉพาะ Gen Z เลยนะคนที่จะอยู่รอดในโลกการทำงานได้มันคือคนที่รู้สึกว่าฉันสามารถสร้างคุณค่าอะไรบางอย่างให้กับองค์กรได้แล้วขณะเดียวกันตัวองค์กรหรือตัว HR เองก็สามารถตอบสนองคุณค่าอะไรบางอย่างให้กับคนทำงานได้เช่นเดียวกันผมว่าอันเนี้ยอาจจะตอบโจทย์
For Gen Z, finding work today may be more difficult than ever before, but experts say the key to survival is no longer just having a degree. Instead, success may depend on adaptability, creativity, and the ability to keep learning in a rapidly changing world. Gitipat Cheung Sukjit, Thai PBS World.
Well, being unemployed is already tough, but people who are still employed are also burning out. Let us introduce you to a new buzzword, which is called quiet cracking, which is when employees are still meeting deadlines and completing their assignments, but they feel disengaged at work. In other words, an employee might be physically at work, but mentally they're already out of here. We find out why this is concerning and what employers can really do to fix the problem. We've heard of terms like quiet quitting, quiet firing, and now there's quiet cracking. So what is quiet cracking and why is it becoming such a concern right now?
So we might have observed the quiet quitting, as you mentioned, also quiet firing. But quiet cracking is like the state that employees, they are like physically they show up at work, but internally, like mentally, they are not really there. They're like they deliver the job, they meet the expectation, but the motivation actually demotivated or obviously they're disengaged.
How can we tell that someone is quiet cracking at work?
That would be signs that employers could observe. Some of the employees that might be disengaged, like in the company's activity, there are less collaboration or less of knowledge sharing. This is a top percentage from our research, like 40%. The second one, sometimes there could be observed as lacking of focus. They are like 22% from our research. And the last one actually contributed to 20% of our research. Sometimes when the employees are in the meeting, they're not really like actively participate in the meeting, not really showing like their ideas, their thoughts in the meeting. So that could be like the top three signals that the employers could observe that the employees could be in the state of quiet cracking.
If someone is not engaged in the company's activities, they feel distracted at work, and they don't share any ideas or opinions in meetings. So these are the top 3 issues that employers cannot overlook.
No, they cannot not overlook, and they cannot let this go unnoticed, because if this continue, and it's quiet cracking, right? And if this continue quietly, it could affect the company overall productivity and also the company culture and morale as well as a big picture.
How is it different from burning out?
I would say that burning out can be observed more easily. I mean, they might not really deliver, but the people that are in the state, I mean, the employees that are in the state of quiet cracking, normally they would be meeting the expectations of the job that they could deliver. But burning out, sometimes they might not meet expectation, and those group of employees, of course, the employers would take in action something with them already. But quiet cracking, sometimes the employers has to observe whether there would be some signal, because the result is there, the expectation have been met, but internally, as I shared, that they are not really there. They are demotivated and disengaged.
How alarming is it for companies today?
So I believe that quiet cracking might be lead from one of the situation we are in during the uncertainty. I mean, it could lead from the economic challenges, the business challenges, with which they are like the factor that that could lead to the challenge in the workplace as well, and that cause uncertainty and potentially could be causing the job security to the employees. So sometimes they deliver, they meet the result, but to identify that at the early stage, the employer should understand that the employees might facing the situation, I'm not sure about the job security, there are uncertainty, and maybe discuss with them whether this could be observed as an opportunity or challenge that they could take on, and let's accept it as like a normal professional life.
Right, and you just mentioned economic challenges, and Thailand has been facing a series of economic challenges with the higher cost of living and now the energy crisis. So how much of this is contributing to the quiet cracking or the burning out factor among employees today?
I think the economic challenges, the war, the trade war, price, and everything are like the external factors that every business, all the business in the market facing right now. But internally, if the company able to identify these signs of quiet cracking and burning out signals that the employees have, starting from the internal, communication, as I shared earlier, and also open communication with them, how to navigate the challenge within the organization during the uncertainty time, whether the external factors are, that would give the employees more like the employers understand how the employee in the situation, what the situation they are in.
Right, and what would be your recommendations for companies to retain their talent so that they don't feel like they're quiet cracking every single day?
So I would take the first step is to have the open communication with the employees. By communication, I mean like two ways communication. So understand their needs, what they value, and getting feedback from them, and also communicate with them the direction, the purpose, the organization goals, whether that how the employees and employers are going to align the expectation that would give like the direction of how the organization would go in the future.
Whether you're quiet cracking or seriously burning out, we actually sympathize with you. And now let's have a look at the other stories making headlines throughout the week in our weekly roundup. The cabinet has approved the abrogation of the Memorandum of Understanding signed with Cambodia in 2001 to settle their overlapping maritime claims. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul said the negotiations under the document known as MOU 44 over the past 25 years have produced no headway. He explained that withdrawing from the understanding has nothing to do with the border conflict, but is part of his policy. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul announced that he has officially signed a draft emergency decree authorizing the Ministry of Finance to borrow 400 billion baht to address energy crises and fund the country's energy transition. Anutin assured the public that the funds will be managed with absolute transparency, promising not a single satang will be lost to corruption or collusion. Airports of Thailand recently announced a significant increase in their international departure fee from 730 baht to 1,120 baht per person. The new rate will apply to all 6 transports under AOT's management and is scheduled to take effect on June 20th. The state-controlled airport operator has acknowledged that the increase will inevitably lead to higher airfares, but insists that the additional revenue is intended for critical infrastructure expansion rather than to offset lost concession income. Now let's turn to World Pride. Thailand has long been considered a safe haven for the LGBTQ community. As Pride Month is around the corner, Thailand has a bigger aim, which is to host World Pride in 2030. The government has ordered the establishment of a working committee to push for the event. Some feel, though, that there are many other issues that need to be fixed in order to get closer to that goal. As Bangkok aims to be the first Asian city to host World Pride, Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul has ordered the establishment of a working committee to push Thailand's bid to host the event in 2030. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, the working committee will focus on increasing global awareness of Thailand as a center of gender inclusivity, increasing cultural engagement, and improving facilitation for tourists in attending World Pride. Suphawan Tirarat, the president of TCEP, has emphasized that Thailand is an LGBTQ-friendly country. She also believes that the event would create an economic impact of up to 24 billion baht, as it will not only be restricted to parades, but also fora and other economic activities.
การเตรียมความพร้อมหรือว่า readiness ของประเทศไทยเนี่ยมีค่อนข้างสูงมากนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องของ infrastructure ที่รองรับการเดินทางไฟล์บินนะคะรวมไปถึงประเทศไทยเราเนี่ยมีภาพลักษณ์ที่ดีโดยเฉพาะเวลาเราพูดถึงเรื่องกลุ่มของ LGBTQ หรือ Pride Community เนี่ยคนก็นึกถึงประเทศไทยเราเป็นเซฟโซนนะคะไม่ว่าจะเป็นที่กรุงเทพไม่ว่าจะเป็นที่ภูเก็ตหรือไม่ว่าจะเป็นที่พัทยาและมีอีกหลายเมืองเลยที่เป็น Pride City การทำงานครั้งนี้ไม่ใช่แต่เฉพาะภาคเอกชนที่เป็น Pride อย่างเดียวมีความสำคัญมากๆค่ะที่คณะกรรมการ Indo Pride เนี่ยเขามองถึงความมั่นใจในภาครัฐบาลด้วยว่าให้การสนับสนุนในเรื่องของความเท่าเทียม equality หรือ diversity นี้หรือเปล่าค่ะ
Although marriage equality is already legalized in Thailand, there are still 50 related bills that are yet to be finalized. These include amendments to the Surrogacy Act, which currently hinders same-sex couples in having children, and the Nationality Act, which doesn't allow same-sex couples of different nationalities to get married in Thailand. Therefore, these bills should be legalized first to ensure inclusivity for all genders.
เพราะฉะนั้นอันนี้เป็นเรื่องเร่งด่วนอันดับหนึ่งเลยนะคะที่ต้องการให้เห็นว่าต้องมีกฎหมายอีก50ฉบับอย่างน้อยนะเป็นอย่างน้อยที่ต้องแก้ไขตามกฎหมายสมรสเท่าเทียมแล้วก็กฎหมายที่สำคัญอีกอันหนึ่งก็คือว่าเราต้องมีพรบรับรองเพศสภาพโดยเร็วแล้วขณะนี้เราก็มีร่างกฎหมายทั้งของรัฐบาลแล้วร่างของภาคประชาชนเนี่ยไปรออยู่ในสภาแล้วเพราะฉะนั้นในส่วนของรัฐบาลแล้วก็สถาบันนิติบัญญัติเนี่ยก็จะต้องเร่งขับเคลื่อนให้กฎหมายฉบับนี้ผ่านออกมาโดยเร็วเพราะมันหมายถึงการที่เราจะยินดีต้อนรับคนทุกเพศที่มาจากทั่วโลกจริงๆเพราะว่าในเรื่องของการขอวีซ่าการตรวจคนเข้าเมืองหรือแม้แต่ที่พักที่จะอำนวยความสะดวกให้กับคนทุกเพศแล้วก็ห้องน้ำอย่างห้องน้ำสาธารณะเนี่ยเราต้องแน่ใจว่าเราจะมีห้องน้ำที่สะดวกแล้วก็ปลอดภัยสำหรับคนทุกเพศจริงๆ
To legalize all such bills within a specific time frame will be challenging, though. Although Thailand has been considered a safe haven for the LGBTQ community, passing those bills would help raise Thailand's status to the next level.
Because it takes, at least like a year, 2 years, 3 years before one law can become enacted. So, but I think that it is very important to use the momentum from our bid for World Pride as a driving force to amend those laws, to make those laws become a reality. So I think rights and prosperity should come in hand. If we want to host World Pride, to boost our economy, to boost our existence as the LGBTQ plus superpower of the world, then we need to pass those laws.
Another aspect that needs improvement are public spaces, transportation, and facilities which meet diversity, equity, and inclusion standards. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration says this is vital to ensure that the capital is truly inclusive for all visitors.
So to be that, we need to improve our city to ensure that the city are ready. But not only public sector, but private sector as well. We are planning to issue kind of a DEI standard that we want to bash the people who want to be like a DDI standard. If the private sector, like maybe hotel, maybe the department store, the mall, everyone can be a part of the DEI standard, and then you can be welcome everyone as a part of the city.
Meanwhile, Bangkok will be up against Barcelona in bidding for the event. The host city will be decided at the Interpride World Conference this October in Phuket. If Bangkok is awarded the host city, it will not just become a milestone for the capital, but many believe this will have a significant impact on gender diversity in the region. Nad Bunag, Thai PBS World. Now we'll end the program with lighter and unusual stories. Frogs have unexpectedly become a high value and highly sought after item, especially during the rainy season here in Thailand. The demand has become so strong that it has reportedly led to thefts, while many villagers are also earning significant income from catching them as well.
A frog, once seen as simple local food, has now become so valuable in Thailand that people are stealing them. In northeastern Thailand, or Asian bullfrogs, are now selling for as much as 400 baht per kilogram. Now the first rains of the season have arrived, and the high price has now made them a target for thieves. At a bus terminal in Nakhon Ratchasima province, a man was waiting for a large container of frogs sent by his mother-in-law from Dan Khun district. The frogs weighed around 10 kilograms and were worth about 4,000 baht. When the bus arrived, however, the container has disappeared. CCTV footage later showed a man riding a motorcycle into the terminal. He acted like a normal customer picking up a package before calmly taking the large container of frogs and driving away. The victim said the frogs were intended as ingredients for a spicy local soup known as tom ung. Instead, though, the expensive delivery was stolen before it even reached home. The incident reflects how valuable these frogs have become, especially during the rainy season. Thai PBS reporters visited the area between Khonburi district and Wang Nam Khieu district, where villagers were searching for frogs late at night after heavy rain. Many villagers wore headlamps and carried sacks while walking through rice fields and forest edges in search of what locals call Nam Song, frogs that come out to mate after rainfall. Some villagers said they could catch more than 40 kilograms in one night, earning nearly 8,000 baht. Roadside buyers are now waiting along Highway 304 to purchase the frogs directly from villagers. Female frogs carrying eggs are the most expensive, selling for around 400 baht per kilogram. Male frogs are sold for around 150 to 200 baht per kilogram. Locals say Kai, or female frogs full of eggs, are especially popular because of their rich flavor. They are commonly grilled or cooked in spicy soup. The growing popularity of frog dishes on social media has also helped push prices even higher. Some people online have even compared the rise in frog prices to fuel prices, while others say the frogs are now more expensive than durian. For many villages, frog hunting has become an important source of extra income during difficult economic times. With prices continuing to rise, though, what was once ordinary local food is now becoming one of the countryside's most valuable seasonal products. Kittipat Chilsukchit, Thai PBS World.
All right, and that's all for this edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10 p.m. only on Thai PBS. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ